Hello everybody and welcome back to the next Transformers Studio Series video. And you guessed it, I am doing a review of Studio Series number 31 Voyager class Battle Damaged Megatron. Now, Battle Damaged Megatron, or you could call him Megatron, is actually a very rare figure and very hard to find. I did find him once at Target, but that's it. I happened to get him at Amazon for $17, although that price won't be there forever. It'll only be there for like a few days, but I recommend that you find him in the store instead of getting him online, because online prices are really expensive. His retail price, his MSRP price, is actually about approximately $30 because he is a Voyager class, and then I found him for $17, which was a pretty ooh for me. And I am enjoying this figure. He's a great addition to the collection. If you have other Megatron figures, you can put him together and compare him and everything. What's the difference between the Revenge of the Fallen, Dark of the Moon, and movie number 1? Okay, so let's get started by looking at all his details and everything. So, and then after that, we're gonna compare him with other Megatron models, other Transformers, and then after that, we're gonna transform, look at the box and everything. So right here we can see that Megatron. You can see that his head right here is actually has a battle damage right here. Right when he shot himself on accident, when Optimus Prime moved his hand and he made him shoot himself. We can see that there's whole battle damage right here, and we can see that his fingers are goldish, and the feet are actually incredibly accurate to how they appear in the film. So everything on him is incredibly accurate. I really do love this figure. He's actually one of my top 10 favorite figures in my collection. I really do love that there are rockets on the back of his back, like similar to Studio Series number 656 Shockwave and 13 Megatron from Revenge of the Fallen. And number 13 Megatron is actually the same thing as this one, except that this one has a different head sculpt and is actually a silver reflective color, while the other one is just a plain gray color. Okay, so let's get started by comparing him with other Megatron models. Now, before we do, I really do like that these fingers, that they can move and stuff, but besides movie number 1 Megatron, they don't move. But Revenge of the Fallen Megatron and Dark of the Moon Megatron move, while movie number 1 does not move. Okay, so now let's compare him with other Megatron models. We'll put him on the back right here. Let's compare him with Studio Series 56. You're probably familiar with this video I did recently. Movie number 1 Megatron, also a Voyager class. We can see that this version of Megatron and that version of Megatron is incredibly different, and that their bodies and their head sculpt is different. So the shoulders are different. While his shoulders are more like pointy. This new Megatron version is actually, this Megatron version is more smooth and some points, while this shoulder is smooth. While both shoulders on this one are very pointy. Okay. So now let's check out Studio Series number 34 Leader Class Megatron. So if we see, we can see that Leader Class Megatron with little minifigure Igor right there is actually way bigger than all 3 Megatron models, than these 2 Megatron models, because he is a Leader Class. Although I would appreciate if this guy would be a Voyager, because he's incredibly big. Both of these should be leaders because they are incredibly big. Although I do like that he's a Voyager, which is actually a bit cheaper and everything. And well, they actually do reflect the size of how the Transformers are in the film. Although I really would appreciate if he was a teeny bit bigger. Okay, so now let's get these Megatrons out of the way. Now let's compare him to a familiar Transformer that he's very familiar with. Hey, what are you doing here? Get out of here. Let's compare him with a Transformer that he's actually really near to throughout the whole movie. Voyager class Studio Series number 21 Starscream. Now Starscream and Megatron, if you both have these figures, great. They make a good what's it called? They make a good team, like against the Autobots and stuff. You can create iconic movie scenes with both of these figures. Although this Starscream is a little bit too white, I'd actually repaint him to make it look like the Revenge of the Fallen, where he's in the desert and stuff. But other than that, a great figure. But Megatron, however, is actually better than Starscream. Although Starscream transforms the same way as Studio Series number 6, and Megatron transforms the same way as Studio Series 13. I would preferably get 31 more than 13 due to the battle damage head and that he is very rare. And I would get Studio Series 21 instead of number 6 because of all these Cybertronian markings on him and everything, which is pretty cool. Now let's what's it called? What's it called? I don't know. I forgot what I was gonna say. Let's review him near another Transformer that he actually sees later in the Transformers movie saga, Sentinel Prime. Now we can see Sentinel Prime is actually very shorter than Megatron. We can see that Megatron is actually way bigger than Sentinel Prime. If you already have Sentinel Prime, great. And if you're looking forward to this figure, I do recommend that you get him. He is about like $30. If you find him at a cheaper price, that is amazing. Get him at that price. But you just gotta make sure about the shipping if you buy him online. Now let's compare him to an Autobot Bumblebee. Now, this is Bumblebee from his Revenge of the Fallen movie version, and we can see that Bumblebee is very small, and he barely makes it up to his legs right here. Okay, and now one more Transformer to compare. Studio Series number 44 combined with number 35, Jet Power Optimus Prime. Oops. So now we see Jet Power Optimus Prime near Megatron, and we can create this iconic movie scene where Megatron and Optimus Prime did fight in Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, where Optimus Prime defeats Megatron and the Fallen. Although they have not made a figure of the Fallen, I really hope that they do make him this year, which would be pretty cool for the Fallen to be released, so you can create this iconic movie scene in the movie. Okay, so now let's get this out of the way for a bit. Now let's check out Megatron's box and everything. Now I really do like his CGI picture and everything, especially the battle damage little part that they did. The 31 Revenge of the Fallen. I do like the backdrop and everything. Nice picture right here, Voyager class, the number 31 right there. Right here we can see that the contents of his box. His iconic movie scene is the Pyramid Desert Battle, where Megatron fights to defend the Fallen against Optimus Prime. Now if you did see Revenge of the Fallen, like I said earlier, you can create the iconic movie scene with Jetfire, Optimus Prime, and the Fallen whenever he does get released, and this figure, Megatron. Now if you do have more figures, such as Studio Series 21, 30, 33, and 32, you can keep collecting more Voyager classes, deluxes, leaders, and create a whole collection of Transformers Studio Series. I recommend getting Studio Series more than Earthrise because these are based off the live action movies, which are way cooler than the cartoon. But if you want to relive classics, that's fine. I recommend getting Studio Series more than the Earthrise, Cybertron, War for Cybertron, Siege, or Kingdom, but I really do recommend Studio Series more than those ones. And right here we can see a nice picture of Megatron with his battle damaged face right here, and pretty movie accurate the figure's pretty movie accurate. Okay. So now let's start our review. Let's start our transformation. So before we do, let's take a look at this figure and everything. Let me just move the camera a little bit down so that you can see the whole thing there. Okay, so now we can see the whole figure right here. Okay, so we saw the whole layout of the figure. Now here's the first thing you've got to do is oh, and one more thing before we transform him is that this Megatron, his head sculpt is actually quite similar to all the Megatron head sculpts. If you all bring their heads up like this, you can see that they are connected to like some little dot right there and have these little lines under their chin. So you can so tell that the head sculpt is the same and everything. So the first thing you've got to do is make sure his toes, they're connected like that, both sides. After that, move his head like that. Then detach his arms from his body. Then you see this part of his body, bring it out like that. Bring it out like that. Just keep his head up like this. Then make sure he looks like that, like if he got hit in the face from up the chin. And then after that, flip his arms over. Make sure that this part, the spike part, actually tucks in. And then scooch it in like that. You have to make, alright, I mean, yeah, gotta put it like, wait, it's like this. No. Okay, so make sure that you have enough room to push his arm in, like that. Then after that, you do the same process to the other arm, and there. Whoops, you gotta make it look like this, like that. There. And make sure this little finger right here is actually pushed in right there. Okay, so now we got this half of his body done, which is pretty simple. Now let's turn our attention toward the back of his legs and everything. This little part, let's fold them up like that. Let's fold, oh wait, you didn't get to see. We'll fold these little parts up. After that, make sure that these parts, his legs, make sure that they flip like that. And make sure that the front of his body, like where his belly was and his front part of legs, are aligned like this. Now you do the same process to the other leg, and there. Okay, so then you bring these things up so that you can see right here, and then you move this. Okay, you move it like that till you hear that click. Then you do the same thing to the other one. It is kind of difficult to do, and depends if the joint is tight or not. But it's actually pretty cool and everything. That how it transforms and stuff. Now after that, make sure that you move the leg up like. Wait. Yeah, like this. Make sure that okay, so now we have him like this, right? I believe after that you do this. Oh wait, okay, you make sure that these feet are straight. After that, you push these little flaps down, make it straight like that. Push these little flaps down. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now it's almost ready. So, okay, you put this flap up like that, and then you push it in like this. Hold on. You make sure that okay, you gotta make sure that these ones are folded out like that. Make sure that they're folded out like this. And after that, bring it up like that. Then push them back in like this. And then after that, okay. So if these pieces do get removed, it is okay. You can put them back on. They are detachable. So then you move it like, hold on one second. Okay, so there's this tab, there's this slot at the bottom of his foot that you put into this tab right here. So right now I'm just gonna cut a piece off of the oh wait, never mind. Okay, so I was gonna cut a piece off the video, but nah. Okay, it's okay. Now these little parts, they actually go under his chin like that. Then after that, do the same process to the second leg. Bring it up like that. Make sure that these little flaps that went on his chin are folded down. Oh, and there was a step that I forgot. Okay, a primary step is that you gotta bring these feet parts down. No wonder I was having trouble right now. And then after that, connect it with the tabs like I showed you earlier. Okay. So these steps actually apply to both Megatron models. Both Megatron models, the Studio Series number 13 and 31. If you only have one of them, like 13, or if you have 31, you can follow along with these steps as well, so that you can transform them. They actually transform into the same thing, Cybertronian jet. It's kind of like a mixture with a tank-ish, a little bit. Although it is more of a jet, we do see Megatron fly in the film with this vehicle mode. And I'd say it's a jet, but I don't know. If any of you know like what it actually is, please tell me. Now these little pieces that did detach, please do connect them back like this. They're easy to connect back right here. So make sure it looks like it's closed right there, like something covered it or something. And then after that, do the same process to this one. Do the same process to this one, and okay. Now connect this leg back, right? Because it disconnected right there. And then you wait. Hold on. You just gotta make sure it inserts inside that little slot that I told you about, so that it can there. And there, we have Studio Series number 31 Voyager class battle damaged Megatron in his vehicle form. Now we can see that his battle damaged version is actually a little bit different than his original version. While his original version was just all gray, now this version has some silver in it and a bit of yellow and everything. I really do like this version more than the other version because due to the battle damage and he's rare. But there isn't not that much of a difference besides the head, the backdrop, and the instructions and the box and everything like that. Okay, so now let's transform him back into a robot. So you gotta oh wait, and one step that we did forget is that these little parts down here, you push down like that. Like that. You see? So perfect. You could do a stop motion where Optimus Prime fights Megatron in the forest battle. If you don't have 13, you could also do it with this one, like, and then something like that. So another thing you can also do is instead of repainting number 13, you could get this figure and then put number 13's head on 31, and it'll look like a new repaint. Okay, so let's start by like reversing all the steps we did. so that we could turn him back into a robot. So then you move out his arms. It's pretty simple what you have to do. So fold that in, this and that. There. Now you have his arms already. Now we can see that, I mean his legs. Now we can see that Megatron is like really tall and everything. That's like nice size and everything. So now let's move these parts like that, his legs, and do the same process to both legs. And after that you these little tabs right here and these little slots, they actually do connect so that you can connect his arms to the back and everything, so that it could be perfect. After that, flip his arm accessory right there. Make sure it's pointed out like that, and make sure that they're both like this. Now about his legs, you gotta do the same thing. The click that I told you about, gotta do that to the second leg. Hold on one second. Let me just move it a little bit so that you can see it better. So, oh yeah, you gotta move it this way. There, you heard that click? Right there. The same thing to this leg. There, you saw? Okay. So now you reattach this little piece that fell off. Pieces are meant to detach if excessive force is applied, but just reattach them and then they'll be as good as new. It's not broken or anything. It's just they just detach. So now we're almost done with this review. Now make sure that his feet, the bottoms, that this little point right here is like that, and that you do the same thing to the other side. Make sure that these things that were holding down his chin are folded down like that. And now just one little thing, we just need to fix his feet. So there. Okay, so now we have his legs ready. Now these little pieces that were once back here, push them again. Like I told you, the excessive force when applied, the pieces detach and everything. Just reattach it like this. Pretty simple. And then after that, separate his feet, his toes right there. And you gotta do the same thing to the other side. And there, you have Studio Series number 31, Voyager class battle damaged Megatron already. Oops. And thank you for watching. Please subscribe, leave a nice comment. I'll see you at our next Transformers Studio Series video. Have a nice day. Please subscribe. Just one more thing, if you want to purchase these figures, I recommend that you look for them in the store. Although if you can't find them anymore, I'd try online, but just find a good price and a website that is secure. Well, have a nice day. Please subscribe and everything. I'll see you at our next video. Goodbye.